You're listening to the Productive, Not Busy podcast, where we show you how to do life and business confident, focused, and with a plan so that you can make more money. Have more free time and less stress. Your host, Wayne Withersby, will uncover actionable hacks, strategies, tips, and insights you can use today to live a better, more productive life. It's time to boost your mindset, confidence, and your attitude. Here's your host, Coach Wayne.
All right. Today we're going to talk about something that sits underneath every successful business on the planet. And that's the foundational principles that determine whether you thrive or you just survive. And here's the truth. If people don't know who you are and what you do, why would they even do business with you? Or how would they do business with you? And that's it. That's the foundation. It's not your logo. It's not your website, it's not your CRM, it's not your certifications. It's whether or not the market knows you exist and understands the value that you bring to them. Because obscurity is the biggest threat to your income. I'm going to plant my flag there early, okay? Conversations lead to commissions, period. The amount of money you make is directly connected to the amount of conversations you have on a daily basis. And not random conversations. I'm talking about strategic conversations, intentional conversations, value-driven conversations. Every single business, I don't care if it's real estate, coaching, sales, consulting, service-based businesses, run on this principle. Revenue is a byproduct of conversations. So no conversations, no clients. No clients, no income. No income, guess what? No business. It's that simple. I come from the real estate world, and Gary Keller teaches that the number one job in real estate is lead generation, period. It's not negotiating. It's not paperwork. It's not showing houses, and it's lead generation, number one. And what is lead generation at its core? It's starting conversations. There's another gentleman that wrote a book called Exactly What to Say. His name's Phil Jones. Talks about choosing your words carefully because the right words at the right time change everything. And he's right. But here's the part people miss. You don't get to use the right words if you're not in enough conversations to begin with. So let's break this down into foundational principles. Principle number one, you got to be known. Before someone hires you, they have to know you. And I know it sounds obvious, but most people don't get this, and most people are hidden. They're working on their brand, or they're perfecting their systems, or they're waiting until they're ready. Meanwhile, the person who is less talented but more visible is getting the business. You don't get paid for potential. You get paid for exposure plus execution. So becoming known means showing up consistently. And it means posting content. It means making calls. It means attending events. It means following up. It means putting your name into conversations. And if the market doesn't see you, the market can't choose you. So principle number two is you must become a person of interest. Not just known, interesting. And there's a difference. A person of interest is someone who stands for something. They have a point of view. They have clarity. They have conviction. They don't just say, I'm a realtor. They say, hey, I help busy professionals upgrade into homes that match the life that they're building. How about that? They don't just say, I'm a coach. They say, I help high-performing entrepreneurs turn chaos into clarity so they can scale without burning out. Pretty cool, huh? So you see the difference where I'm going here? One is a title. The other is a mission. And when you become a person of interest, you give people a reason to lean into it. And this is goes back to the Phil Jones thing. Energy comes in from the language you use, right? The language you use shapes perception. If you can articulate what you do in a way that feels specific, intentional, and outcome-driven, people start seeing you differently. You move from being a commodity to being a specialist, right? Look at doctor's offices. You can go to a general practitioner or you can go to a brain surgeon. Which one? Right? So principle number 3 leads me to conversations create opportunities. So let's talk about the volume. Most people dramatically underestimate how many conversations it actually takes to build a predictable income. You want to close 20 deals? How many conversations does that require? You got to know that stuff. You want 10 new coaching clients? How many conversations does that require? You've got to reverse engineer all of this. So if you reverse engineer success the way Gary Keller teaches, starting with the goal and working backwards, you realize that income is just math. Conversations to appointments to clients to revenue. Done deal. So if your income is inconsistent, it's usually because your conversations are inconsistent. You can't bring it out of the shadows, right? You can't binge converse 1 week and then disappear for 3 weeks because momentum matters. The market rewards consistency. And principle number 4 is about vision. Vision sets you apart. Here's where the most professionals blend in. They compete on price and they compete on features and they compete on availability. But the difference is that the top 10, they compete on vision. They offer something bigger than the transaction. They help clients see the future. They paint a picture. And when you sit down with someone and say, here's what I see for you, and you paint that picture clearly, you immediately separate yourself. People don't buy services. They buy certainty. They buy belief and they buy direction. And if you can articulate a compelling vision for your client's future, one that aligns that their goals and speaks to what matters most to them, you stop being an option and start being the obvious choice. That's influence, man. That's leadership. That's business at a high level. And which leads me to principle number 5. The market doesn't owe you shit. Let me rephrase that. The market doesn't owe you attention. This is a Gary V reality check, okay? You don't deserve clients just because you got a license. You don't deserve sales because you started a business. And you don't deserve attention because you posted something on social media one time. You got to earn it daily through values, through consistency, through presence. If you're not getting traction, don't complain. Communicate more, create more, and connect more. Done deal. Simple. The marketplace rewards those who show up relentlessly. That leads me to principle number 6. Focus on your one thing. I want to simplify it. What's the one thing that, if done consistently, would make everything else easier or unnecessary? That comes right from the One Thing book written by J. Papasan, Gary Keller. For most businesses, it's lead generation. For most professionals, it's initiating conversations. So it's not tweaking your logo. It's not recognizing or reorganizing your office. It's not building another funnel. It's conversations. It is so simple because conversations clarify needs. Conversations uncover problems, and conversations build trust. Conversations create referrals. Conversations lead to other opportunities. And guess what? Opportunities lead to income. If you guarded your conversation time the way a CEO guards their board meetings, your income would change in a huge way. Time block it, protect it, and treat it like the revenue engine it should be. Principle number 7 is identify, and identity. Identify an identity. Identity drives income. Here's something powerful, okay? If you don't see yourself as a professional conversation starter, you won't act like one. If you don't see yourself as someone who brings value, you'll hesitate. Income grows to the level of your identity, plain and simple. When you decide, I am someone who creates opportunities and I am someone who leads conversations, I am someone who helps people make confident decisions, your posture is going to change. You have no choice. Your tone changes. Your follow-up changes. And when that changes, results follow. So I'm going to bring it all back together. Business is not complicated. It's disciplined. So be known, be interesting, have more conversations, offer a compelling vision, and focus on your one thing. And show up consistently. Now, I want you to understand something. Money is simply a byproduct of value exchanged inside of conversations. If you want more money, talk to more people. If you want to stand out, clarify your vision. If you want to win long term, build foundations instead of chasing hacks. Because at the end of the day, the professionals who dominate their industries aren't necessarily the smartest. They're the most visible, the most consistent, the most intentional, and the most committed to conversations that create change in their life. So here's my challenge to you. Everybody out there in the productive, not busy world, in all 108 countries, how many meaningful conversations did you have this week? And what would happen if you doubled that number? Your income is waiting on the other side of those conversations. So here's my thing. You know what I say at the end of every one of these things. Be safe, take care, sell a bunch, find somebody, and have a conversation. Now go start one. Talk to you soon.
You've been listening to the Productive, Not Busy podcast. Please hit the subscribe and notification of new episodes button and visit us on social media like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok for bonus content.